Wow, Tsubasa stepping it up in this episode and putting a body under his belt in Kokkoku episode 6. Well, actually it wasn't him, it was more along the lines of the specter that possessed him within that caused him to do what he did. But at the same time, I have to tip my hat to Geno Studios because they are giving me exactly what I wanted out of this series, and I can understand why the reception isn't that good for this series. I can understand why people think it is slow or boring because it is a very slow burn, it has a slow pace. The issues are definitely there. I even pointed them out last week, but me personally, this series is giving me exactly what I was looking for. It's a seinen, it has a dark tone to it, it has a dark feel, and every sense of the word, it is a thriller. It is a psychological thriller, maybe even a horror thriller with this series, and that's what I wanted, and it is the perfect series for me to watch on Sunday, because on Sundays, I like to watch series that are more serious, you know, more darker in tone. It just feels like a good day to watch that. I don't know why, and that's what Kokkoku is doing, and that's why I'm sticking with it, even though I completely abandoned ship on Ancient Magus' Bride, and I apologize for that. But you know, 12 Days of Anime completely derailed me from that series, and I'm so behind now that it would be too much of a burden to catch back up on, so Kokkoku took the Sunday spot. But enough of that, I'm getting off topic. Back to this episode again with Tsubasa actually killing somebody when he was possessed by that specter, and Geno Studios knows how, if they are truly are, you know, the remnant of Manoglow, they know how to do this type of series. And we've seen that with Genocidal Organ, if you've seen that movie, how to make things dark and even realistic, no matter how fantasy or supernatural out of ordinary they may be. Because when Tsubasa was choking this guy out and he straight up pissed himself, I mean, that's what happens. That's real. When you choke somebody out to death and they just lose control of their bodily fluids, you know, the fact that they actually showed that shows the savagery and the darkness that this series has. And Juri, once again, you always gotta clap it up for this young lady, as she's become one of my favorite characters of the winter season, because just like I said last time, I love her poise, I love her intelligence, and I love how she calls it like it is and faces things head on. As when they get back to her father, she straight up said, "You idiot, if you would have told them what we were doing, if you would have took that deal, these goons would have killed you and us when everything was over. You fool." So I like that she called her father out and told him straight up that he's not in charge here, because he was getting a little bit big for his britches, you know. Sagawa was, you know, pumping him up a little bit, making him feel like, you know, you're supposed to be the man of this family, and look at you now. And he tried to puff his chest a little bit, but Juri and Grandpa put him back in his place. And this was probably the most straightforward episode of Kokkoku we gotten so far, as we finally are starting to get to the meat of the matter as far as this stasis, this world that we're in, and the heroes and everything that goes by. We even have got to light Majima and her intentions in this episode. So the process of becoming a hero is a little bit faster than I expected it to be, because Tsubasa, we don't know how much time has passed. Of course, it's probably still within the same day, but it seems like almost immediately once he was taken over by the Spectre, he began to become a hero. But thankfully, you know, Juri was there to get him there in time, you know, and it was really chilling. Once again, this is a type of series I could see on like sci-fi or maybe even a movie. This is how the setting and how well it fits for what we're doing once we knew what we were into in this series. When he was walking around in that possessed state and he was going, "Mako-san, Mako." He was looking for Makoto. It was just really chilling, and we've seen him becoming a hero, and then that's what Gramps told Juri, that she needs to hurry up and get him out of this state fast and use her ability, because this is how you can stop somebody from becoming a hero. And if you wouldn't have did that back then Majima probably would have been one by now too. So you need to do it now. You need to do it fast. And once she did that, that put Tsubasa back into the stall. So now the hero's out of him, but he's back in the stall. So he just has to wait till time catches up to him again. But the main basis of this episode was Majima, and her theory is if she could find someone like Juri, somebody with that ability to expel the Spectre out of them, she could bring her family back. And that was the majority of the episode, with us coming to light of that, and Majima actually trying to test out that theory and see if it was true, because her and the goons, they kidnapped Makoto. They found him running along the streets, and they were going to use him as a bargaining chip for Juri to do what she needed to do. And this was the real reason why she joined this this committee, this religious group that Sagawa is part of, not necessarily because she agrees with what they're doing. She just wants to see if it's a way to get her family back. But it has to be a time limit, and it looks like it is in this series, because just like I said, when Tsubasa got taken over, he began to become a Spectre right away. So you would imagine that as long as her family's been installed, it's been like 17 years, it wasn't going to be a way for them to bring them back, but she wanted to keep that hope. And you know, it was a little bit of a struggle. It took a while when we finally did get to the point where, you know, we got to Juri trying to expel the Spectre out of the Hero, which was a pretty cool sequence in itself, because this thing was huge and it was rampaging through. But the biggest meat was, you know, in order to get a hero to appear, you have to try to kill somebody in the stall and have that killing intent to do so. And it was a struggle with Majima in this episode, with her actually trying to kill someone. In fact, it took up a majority of the episode, because she really is not that type of person. I mean, you know, initially I would have thought, I may be a bad person for this, just have one of the goons do it. Then when it comes out, then it'll show up and you can do it then. But it spent a lot of time with her actually trying to do it and stop herself before she actually did it, and find the killer within, as she harbors a lot of hatred. And it's kind of hard to tell if it's hatred that she has for Juri's family or just resent, because she says that, you know, I started to seek you guys out for help, but instead she ended up going to Sagawa and his people. So the part that's weird, and now things are starting to come together in Kokkoku, is that she couldn't do it, but Juri's father was able to, like almost immediately. And now I think we're beginning to see the importance of Juri's family to Sagawa and the story in general. It seems like each one of them has some type of purpose to serve. I mean, we know Gramps and his ability with the teleportation, and then we got Juri who can expel people. And, you know, the father, it seems like he may be able to just bring out the heroes at will, as he just went up to this guy. We don't know if he had any intent or not, and if he did, it wasn't clear to me. And as soon as he got ready to do it, the hero just came out. So he might be able to draw them out, and I'm pretty sure at this point Makoto's gonna have ability too. So now this entire family is entwined, and inside of this stall, it seems like they all have a purpose. If they fall into the wrong hands, which it looks like Sagawa's trying to do, that can be a big deal, and that may be his intentions, as that is still not clear, and it's still a nagging point for me of the series, is what does he want to do overall. But I don't know, that leads to my second pain point of the series, is that everything is such a mystery that nobody knows what goes on, because I'm pretty sure the father has no freaking clue what he did, and the person that was with Majima, you know, the person that decided to help her and side with her, he was kind of like, well, how did you do that so fast? So it looks like now that Majima, for now, seems like she's gonna side with Juri and her family. The series is now just going to shift to stopping the Genuine Love Foundation, or whatever they're called. And again, a very straightforward episode of Kokkoku, and I enjoy it very much. But that was the entirety of the episode. Again, a bulk of it was, you know, getting Majima's side of things and seeing that, you know, she's not really a killer, she's not really a bad person, she's just doing what she has to do in order to get her family back, and she was willing to try and risk anything on this theory to see if she can get her family back. And just like I figured, her family's been in the stall too long for the outcome for this to be good. But ironically, her little brother looks like he may be okay and in the stall. We'll just have to see what happens with that next week. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, guys. So let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. Let me know some of your thoughts and theories of this episode. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content you indulge on this channel. As I always say, you guys be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.